To all the geeks and nerds out there, welcome back to another episode of Beyond Logic, and we are carrying straight on from last episode where we built our villager breeder, and now this episode we are going to focus on the trading hall itself. And yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. We've got a lot of stuff to do today. I've got big plans. Ouch, trying to fly straight, but yeah, this is going to be good. So up here, let's have a look at what is going on. So I've done a bit of work off camera, so let me tell you about that. So first of all, down here in the old trading hall location, I have removed everything, as you can see, and yeah, that was a bit of work, but we had a ton of hoppers here, so I took all of that out, and yeah, we're now left with a blank slate to build our trading halls. And basically it's going to be over here, so we're going to use the trading hall design that I've done already. I've got a video out about that, so if you want the details about the trading hall, then check that video out. And yeah, we'll kind of cover some of the basics, but yeah, that video is the thing to watch. And we've got our guy over here who's going to be transforming our villagers to give us some heavy discounts, so we can we'll be curing them to get those discounts. And yeah, this is the trading hall. So over here we're going to have a booth where we can change the profession of our villagers before they go into the trading hall. And I'm thinking over here, this is going to be where all our item storage is going to be. Oh, all our item storage is going to be over here. All our carrots, potatoes, that kind of stuff. So we might end up rerouting some water down here, and yeah, working out how that's going to work. So that's another thing to do. Now, the other thing I've done off camera, apart from the clearing up and preparing the area, is up here. And this is our breeder. Let's land just here, exactly where I wanted to land, right there. And here is our breeder. Now, you may not notice any differences, but in fact, I took down the whole thing and rebuilt it, because this front wall right here was actually right up here, pretty much here, I think it was, far too close to this entrance way. And yeah, as soon as the episode finished last week, I kind of looked at this and kind of pondered and decided, oh, it's just in the wrong place, got to go. So I took it all down, rebuilt it. It wasn't too bad because it's not too complicated to rebuild. It's pretty straightforward. And yeah, I've added a killing mechanism at the back. So if we get a bunch of villagers in here that we don't want, we can flip this switch and that will suffocate the villagers with sticking that block in their head. So we've got that mechanism now, which is good. And also at the top, I've made some other changes. So if we hop up here, I have first of all added a bunch of glass around the beds so we can't accidentally sleep in them and blow ourselves up, because obviously we're in the end. And the other thing I changed was how we turn off the breeder. So last episode had a whole bunch of blocks in between the villagers and the beds to block the pathfinding, but that turned out to be not very reliable. The villagers sometimes got their beds back, sometimes they didn't. So I decided to take all of that out. Wasn't very good, but instead I've changed how the water works, and instead now we just put a block in between the two villagers so they can't see each other, and then they don't breed. So that is much easier. So now the breeder is off because that block is down there. Obviously had to reroute all the water over here, but yeah, it's all working and it's all wired up to our control system, so that is all good. So we might make some other changes to this episode, we'll see. I've got a few ideas, but we'll come to that in due course. So I think the first thing to do is to get this trading hall built up, and then get some villagers in here, and yeah, we can get trading. And as you watch me build up this trading hall, I've got some news to tell you about, and that is the reset of my Patreon server. That's happening today. So as this video goes out, the 11th of August, that is actually today. So this video comes out at 12 o'clock UK time, and the server is going to be open at 4 o'clock. So just 4 hours after this video goes out, you can join us. So if you're interested in joining a Patreon server, then head on over to patreon.com/logicalgeekboy, and all the details are over there. Now we're doing a special launch event today, and we are going to rush the dragon as a group. So we're going to start off with nothing in our inventory, and we're going to do the whole shebang. We're going to yeah, obviously get geared up and find the stronghold and get in there and kill that dragon as quick as we can. So we're going to time it, see how quick we can do it as a group, see how organised we can be, see what mayhem will transpire. But yeah, I'm going to be involved with that with all the other staff as well, so it's going to be super fun. So yeah, if you're interested in that kind of thing, then check it out. And there we have it. Step 1 is complete. The booths for the villagers has all been complete, so that's ready to go, ready to get them in there. But yeah, we've got this guy down here. There he is. there's our zombie. Now, yeah, we've still got lots of other stuff to do still, but that was the first step. But yeah, I've got one little job I want to do with this guy before we finish up. Oh, here he is. Come on, guy, come over here. Now, obviously, we're in the Death Star, so we need to theme him with some Death Star stuff. So first of all, I'm going to rename him to TK421. Now, if you're a nerd, if you're a real nerd, you'll know the reference, but if not, then that's all right. But yeah, if you know that reference, then let me know in the comments. That would be interesting. But also, we want to give him some armor. So let's give him some boots. Pick him up, yep. And let's give him some trousers. and this and this. Look at him, it looks like a Stormtrooper. Now, a Stormtrooper holding a piece of dirt is not very menacing, but I've got this. I just happen to have this sword in my chest, a sharpness 4, so that will help with the conversion, and hopefully he'll pick that up instead of the dirt. There we go. Much more menacing. All right, let's put this back. How does he look in all his new get-up? There he is. Much better, much better. All right, so we've got a Stormtrooper in there, ready to convert these villages when we get them in. All right, brilliant, brilliant. Right, so the next thing I think is to work on this part. This is the booth where we're going to be able to select the profession of our villagers. So the next question is how are we going to get them down from up there down to here? All right, let me work something out, and yeah, I'll show you what I come up with. That light means we have some villagers ready for our trading hall. And here it is. I've created a booth, so obviously we've still got a lot more work to do. So here's our trading hall we just built, and yeah, I've added this booth here, and yeah, we've got all the controls all wired up. So we've got some buttons here to call a new villager, and one here to send it off into the trading hall. And yeah, pretty straightforward. So let's, as it's work time, which is the ideal time to do this, so let's give this thing a shot. And yeah, I'll tell you about some stuff in a minute. So let's press this button, which will call a new villager from upstairs, and I'll show you that in a second. So down he comes. There he is. And we're at work time, so this is the perfect time for a villager to pick a profession. To pick a profession. Hello? How about you pick a profession? He's not going to do it. There is an issue. For some reason, and I don't know why, villagers in this location are not picking up a workstation very quickly indeed. So if I hang around here for about 10 minutes, then he'll do it. But otherwise, yeah, it doesn't really work. So let's, while we're waiting for him to pick that workstation, let's fly around and have a look at what I've actually done. So I've made some changes to the breeder first of all. So let's come up here. And you'll notice at the front there is some changes. So at the front I've moved what we did have at the back there with the babies and the adults, that filtering system. I've moved it around to the front, so when you walk into this room you'll be able to see it straight away. So the babies will be just down there, and then they move along here and grow up and they end up here. And underneath here's we've got our rail system, and there's a dispenser just down there. And yeah, these guys are sitting on standing on a pressure plate, and so that is what controls the light. So we've got some redstone behind there that does all of that. And here is the redstone that comes up from that button, and it goes over here into our dispenser with all the minecarts. So I need to put some more in there. But yeah, so pretty straightforward. Not much more to say about that. But yeah, I am a little bit disappointed in this villager guy. He doesn't want to do it. Look, he's still doing this work time. So how this should work at work time, you should be able to place a workstation in front of them, and they should pick it up pretty much straight away. And then we should be able to go through the cycle of checking his trades and then breaking the workstation, checking again until we get the trades we like, and then we trade with him to lock it in. Press this button, and then he'll go off into the trading hall, and he'll go into the first slot, which is that one just there. And I've got another composter there ready to go. But yeah, there is an issue. Now, I've reached out to some people that know much more about this than I do, some people on Sci-Fi, so hopefully we might get an answer or at least some kind of indication. But yeah, at the moment, it just takes a long time. He does actually do it in the end, just takes a long time. So I'm going to leave this guy here for a bit. I'm going to go and do some more work, and then hopefully when he's actually picked this workstation, we'll come back and check him out. And here he is. He's done it at last. It took about 11.5 minutes. I didn't catch the exact time that he did it, but yeah, looking at the time, that's how long it took. So obviously that's quite a bit longer than I expected. It should be pretty instant. So yeah, that's a bit disappointing. But anyway, let's do this. Let's trade with him. So I've got some carrots. So let's do this. Let's get some emeralds from him. Let's lock in that trade. That's good enough. So all we need to do is trade with him once. Now what we're going to do now is we've already got a workstation over there. So I'm going to have to break this one first of all, and then send him on his way. Off he goes, and he should end up in that first pod. There he is. Good. Now he's going to take a bit of time before he realizes that that is his new workstation just over there. So we'll wait for him to pick that one up before we bring down the next villager. Okay, I can hear him working. So he's now picked up this workstation, so that's all good. So we're now in business, as they say. But I think what we need to do is we need to get some discounts, because 22 carrots for an emerald, that's pretty expensive. So I'm afraid, my friend, you're going to have to go and meet TK421 down there, and yeah, get converted. There he goes. That was quick. 2 hits. Now he comes back. Now if we cure him, so in here we've got this is our dispenser with a bunch of weakness potions. So we'll do that, and I've got some golden apples in here. So there you go. Right, so once he's converted back to a villager again, he should have some discounts. He's been cured, but let's check out his trades. Let's see how much discount we got. Well, not too bad, but I think we can go lower. And I'm afraid, my friend, you're going to have to go through that process one more time. So let's lower you down. There we go. He's converted again. Come back up, and he's got purple robes. Nice, very nice. So let's give him a splash of the weakness potion and another apple. All right, let's see what his trades are like when we come back. He's back from the brink. Let's check out his trades, and he's gone down to 10 now. All right, not too bad. But I think you know what's going to happen. We've got to try it one more time. Sorry, dude. And after 3 rounds of being transformed to a zombie and then cured again, check out the trades. 3 carrots for an emerald. And look at this one. 1 pumpkin for an emerald. Well, I've got a lot of pumpkins and also a lot of carrots. So yeah, that is our ticket to pretty much infinite emeralds. This guy right here, but yeah, we need a few more as well. So I've already brought down another one, and he hasn't taken his profession yet. He's still sitting there. So this is going to be a slow process. But what I'm going to do is, as I'm building up the rest of this stuff, doing the decorating, that kind of stuff, I'll gradually bring more and more of these guys down, get them into the trading hall, get them converted, and yeah, that can happen as I'm building up the rest of this stuff. So I think the next thing is I'm going to start working on. I've started an area here, but I'm basically going to have all of our chests down here for all of our items, and I'm going to reroute the water. Somehow, not quite sure yet, but yeah, we'll reroute the water so they get stocked up automatically from all of our farms. So yeah, once I've made some more progress, I'll bring you back and show you what I got. Eureka! I think I have it. I think I've just had an epiphany. I've literally just been standing here, looking over here, wondering what's going on with this villager in this thing, because it's been causing me a lot of pain, and it just hit me what it might be. So we'll talk about that in a second. But here he is. Look, it's work time. Currently, you can see from our display, and this guy is not picking up the workstation. He should. I've done a lot of testing with this stuff in a creative world, and they pick it up straight away in that same setup. But he's not doing it here for some reason. And I've done a lot of testing in a backup world of this world, and it seems to be locational. So it seems just to be over here. So I've done it in other places in the end, like over at the Falcon. It works fine. I've done it right down at the bottom of the world, right down at the bottom of the Death Star down there, and it works fine there too. But for some reason up here, it doesn't work. But it just hit me why that might be the case. So we'll come back to that in a second. But let me show you what I've been up to so far since the last cut. So we've got 3 villagers in here now, and they are all master level. Done a lot of trading with these guys. We've got some good trades. Yeah, so 1-to-1 ratios for most of these things now. Same with this guy, master level, and also our first guy too. So we're getting a lot of good trades out of these, and they've all been converted a few times, sort of 3 or 4 times. And here are the emeralds so far from all of our trading, which is super good. And yeah, here is our storage system. So basically, you've seen the kind of stuff before. I won't dwell on it too much. But the water stream that we had at the top that takes all the villager-related items past our breeding villagers. I've changed how the water goes now. So now it goes down here, and you can see here's some items falling down. So they come down here, and we've just got some standard item sorters along the back there, and putting all these items into the chests, and so we can use this for trading. And then I've got a few extra chests over here for books and emeralds and whatnot, some other things maybe. So that's all to come. But so this is all functionally complete, functionally working. But back to this villager guide. This has been a pain. It's been really, really painful, because as I've been building this stuff up, obviously I want to cycle these workstations as much as possible to get some good trades, especially for the librarians. But it just takes so long each time. Like, I can only really do it once in a Minecraft day, based on how often he picks it up. So only once every 20 minutes can I cycle a workstation, and that is just no good. It's no good at all. So at the start of this episode, I was super pumped. I was super excited because I had a whole bunch of stuff to do. But then as this build has got on more and more, I've got a bit disheartened. But I've literally just had an idea of what that might be, what might be the problem. So let's go over to a different part of of the Death Star. Let's go over here, because I've been doing some testing in a creative test world, a backup of this world, and the villager picks up the workstation in different places, but up there where we've got him at the moment, he has trouble. So it does seem to be locational, and I think this room is the problem. This is our hangar, and as you can see, it's just a room. There's not much going on here. We do have a few armor stands, but yeah, there's no redstone, there's no craziness. But I think the problem is up there. Look at the ceiling. What's it made of? It's made of cauldrons. And in fact, it's made of about 2,000 cauldrons. I think it's time to do some testing. Welcome to my test world, and this is where we're going to see if my hunch is correct. So first of all, we're in this test world, there's nothing around, we've just got this box here, and if we place down a lectern, in fact let's set the time first to work time. So if we do time set 2000, so we're now in work time. Now if I put down a lectern, and inside here as well we'll put down a villager, he should pick that workstation up pretty quickly. There he goes. There he goes. Very good. Very good. So that's how it should work. And now we should be able to break the lectern. He'll lose it. Put it down again. You should get it pretty much straight away. There we go. There we go. So that is what should happen. That is what should happen. Now, obviously, that's not happening in our world. Now we need to work out why. Now, let's see if we can recreate the problem. Now, I just so happen to have a command that I can run. And it's this one. If I paste in this command right here, we're going to fill about the same space that we have for our hanger ceiling with cauldrons underneath, and we're still in work time. So let's pop down a workstation again, and we'll stick a villager down, and let's see what happens. Does he pick it up? He's not picking it up. Very interesting. Very interesting. So let's leave him there for a second. Now what about, I've got this another platform up here which is a bit further away. So what about if we put a lectern down here and place a villager down as well? Let's see, does he pick up his? There he goes, he picked it up. So that guy works, this guy doesn't. All right, so now let's remove the cauldrons. So if we go back to our command we had before, and instead of placing down cauldrons, we'll just place down air, remove all of the cauldrons, and look, he immediately changes back to what he should be. He should be a librarian. So all of those cauldrons are the problem, and here is why. So first of all, let's look at how often this guy picks up his workstation. So if I break his workstation, he loses it immediately. But if I put it down again, it takes about a second for him to find it again. So if you look at that, if you kind of look at the time, it takes about a second before he picks it up. So I've been speaking to Captain Wutax from Sci-Craft to get an understanding of how this mechanic actually works, so I can understand the reason why we're seeing what we're seeing. And yeah, what it turns out is that once a second, a villager will scan his vicinity. We'll get to that in a second for workstations, and every second he'll check for 3 of them and see if he can pathfind to them. Now, if you've got 2,000 in your vicinity, that means he's going to be checking all 2,000 of those workstations to see if he can pathfind to them. And of course, that takes a long time. And if you do the math, it actually turns out that it does take about 10, 11 minutes, as been seen. So basically what he's doing is he's in this box and he's trying to find a workstation to pathfind to. And instead of just starting at the closest one, he will look at the ones in his vicinity. Now, I believe that is going to be at a range of 48 blocks. So it turns out that this one up here is outside the 40 block range. So that's why this one works straight away. And he is too close to those cauldrons. And so he has to cycle through all of them, working out which ones he can pathfind to before he picks one. And that is the reason. So that's why we're having the issue we're having in the Death Star, because our pod, where we select the workstations, that is too close to all those cauldrons in the ceiling, and consequently it takes a very long time. So we've got to do something about it. What are we going to do? So here we are back in the Death Star, and of course this guy is now he's picked up the workstation. I've finally waited long enough and he's picked it up. But yeah, let's have a look. So if I walk over here, you will see that this is where our villager is right here, and there are all the cauldrons right there. Now that's only 2 floors away. We've got the trash compactor right underneath the floor below, and then they start just underneath that. So that villager is approximately, so 2 floors, approximately about 28, maybe 30 blocks away, which of course is inside the 48 block range. So we are too close. So that is a problem. So I guess we've got 2 options as I can see it. Either we move the villager and get him out of the range, which I guess the only possible way we could do that is to move him up and move him up to where the breeder is up here. But unfortunately that is still in range. He would have to be pretty much up there where the water stream is to be outside the range of the cauldrons, and I don't think that's all that good, to be honest with you. So the only other option is to get our pickaxe out and remove all of these cauldrons and replace them with something else, because they are interfering with our villagers. And this is a shame, because I really loved this ceiling, how it turned out, how it looked inside. And this is also this is also a downside of how they've designed or implemented at least this feature of Minecraft. It means now that these workstations, we can't just use them for decoration as we have been doing, because obviously this ceiling was built in 1.13 days, well before the workstation was even a thing. But now we can't just do this stuff. We have to be very careful where we place our workstations in relation to villagers, because they use them as part of the game. And yeah, this is pretty sad. So I think we have to tear all these out so we can actually use our villagers properly and have a think about what we can replace it with. But this is going to be a lot of work. 2,000 cauldrons. Oh man. Okay. I guess we do it then. This is a sad day as I rip all of this out, but yeah, as I do so, I need your help in the comments. What can we replace it with? I think I was thinking about maybe putting them back again after we've dealt with the villagers, but we're always going to need to do that stuff, I think. So we probably want to just swap this out for hopefully just a single block, just to make it super easy. But if you've got any ideas, what can we do with this ceiling? I want to get this done pretty quick. But yeah, any ideas, get it in the comments. Now, also a bit more news, and that is that next week I'm going to go on holiday for a family holiday in the sun, so that's going to be nice. But that means that there's going to be some less videos, so there won't be a Beyond Logic video next week. That's not going to happen. I am going to be recording with Doc again this week for some more SkyZoo. I'm not sure if I'm going to have time to edit or not. I'm going to try my best to do that. So, but if not, there will be definitely videos on Doc's channel, if not mine. But hopefully, I will get them in there for you as well. And with that, the cauldrons are gone, and as you can see, the villagers over there are busy working away because it is work time, and it is also time to try this for the very first time. I haven't tried it yet, so hopefully this is going to work. But yeah, here are some cauldrons, a full shulker box, and a few more. So I think I tried to pick up as many as I could. I might have missed some, but yeah, we've got them all there. So we'll talk about that again in a minute. Let's see if this actually makes any difference. It does. Yes. Oh man. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy that worked. Oh, you don't know the pain I've gone through with this. All right, channeling. Awesome. Right, let's get some cycling done. Oh man. Check this out. Mending for 10 emeralds as a starting price. That is pretty good. So I reckon we should get a bunch of them, lock in that trade. Good stuff, good stuff. Right, now we need to break this workstation and send him into the trading hall. And here he is, joined his buddies. Let's stick down the workstation. And now we're still in work time. Hopefully we'll see him work, but if not, that's all good. So yeah, awesome stuff, awesome stuff. Right, I heard a noise then. I think he's switched to this one now. That's good. So we can try and get some discounts and unlock this guy and see what other trades we get. Check this out. I have been busy. So I've been busy building, and as I've done so, I've been sort of trading with these guys on and off, and you can see there we've got quite a few extra villages, still got a few places to go. So let me show you where we are up to. So we've got three librarians now. Here's our guy from before, the mending guy. So got his trades all the way down to 1, pretty much for everything, fully unlocked, all the way to master level. Same with this guy. This guy's got a silk touch for 1 and not much else. But so I might switch this guy out if we find a better silk touch guy. Where he might go. This one as well is a good one. We've got a unbreaking 3, which is good. Blast protection and depth strider, so not too bad. All again for 1 emerald. So yeah, we are doing really well, and we've got a whole bunch of emeralds still up here. Been trading away with those guys, and we've got 1 more villager left to deal with. So I'll deal with him in due course and get him into here. So I'm thinking at the moment, I'm probably going to go with maybe 5 librarians, maybe 6, and then I think maybe a toolsmith might be a good one as well to get, because I don't want to overload and have too many villagers and have the same problems before. So that is good. Now on that front, let's have a check at the lag. So let's look at that thing. So not too bad. So if you remember before we started this whole project, we were well into the red, and now we're down to sort of 26. It looks like it's settled on now. 26. It's slightly higher because I'm recording. I think when I'm not recording, it's down to about 21. So yeah, not too bad, not too bad. So I'm happy that our lag problem is now solved. So let me just turn that off and press this button again. So there's a few more things I want to do in terms of the lag, but we'll do that another time. So yeah, the room is done. As you can see, I had a quick look around there. You can see we've got the floor in place here, and our standard kind of ceiling. So it's not a copy of other designs. It's just the kind of riffing off of the same kind of theme. And yeah, looking all right, looking all right. So I've done something similar with the breeder just above. So let's fly on up here. And where is it? Here it is. Over here. Look at that, pro landing skills. Nice. So here's our doorway. And into the breeder we go. So just added a roof up here. Now you can't really see much else up the top, and obviously when we're down here you can't see that anyway, but I've added a ladder here so we can go up here and have a look and do any kind of maintenance we might need to do. So I think I might enclose this as well into another room, so we have like 2 rooms, one above the other, so we can check out what's going on here, see if it's all working, things like that. And obviously we can see the items coming down here, and any kind of maintenance might be required. So yeah, I might turn this into a room as well, but yeah, we'll do that another time. So that has been a successful episode, except we've lost our roof. Lost our roof in the hangar. So yeah, I really want to have another way of doing this. So any suggestions you've got for what we can do with this ceiling that's not going to take me forever to do, that would be really good. So get it in the comments. And yeah, if you've got access to the plot world, we've got a plot world server, so get onto our Discord, full details there, and then you can maybe throw some designs up there on the plot world and I can check them out. That would be really cool. So there we go. And before we finish up, we've got 2 more things to do. First of all, we've got a new name to add to the Hall of Fame. We haven't done that for a little while, so we've got a new one. And this is someone who's been in the community for quite some time and is very active in our Discord and also in the comments, that kind of stuff, lots of support. So yeah, a big thank you to Capix. Thank you, Cap, for all your support. It's really appreciated, and yeah, really glad to have someone like you in the community. So let me know what mob head you want, and I'll get it and add it to your statue in the Hall of Fame. Now, one other thing I'd like to talk about, and that is our Patreon reset, which I mentioned earlier in the video. Now, I need to give a special thank you to obviously all of my staff for everything they're doing to get that set up, and in particular, Rozzy. Man, he's put in the work. He's put in so much work. So if you see him around, make sure you say thank you to him. He's in our Discord, and obviously he'll be on the server. So yeah, Rozzy, thank you, man. I really appreciate all the hard work. Really good stuff, man. Anyway, with that done, it is time to end the episode. So I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, then please hit the like button, and if you are new, then feel free to subscribe, and if you've got any comments or suggestions, then get it in that comment section. All right, my geeks, until next time, I will see you later.